Hi everyone, how we doing? How we doing? It's Sunday stream time. Because it is Sunday, right? I didn't miss that. Yes, it is Sunday. Hi everybody, happy Easter indeed. How we doing? We've been having a nice weekend with family and friends and just general free time. Hello, hello. Hi Cherry, hi Coral. Hello Blue Jay. Hi Sam, hi General. Happy 4-year. Happy 4-year. Is that today? Are you kidding me? Has it been 4 years? Seriously? 4 years! How dare you come in and immediately give me an existential crisis? Oh my gosh. 4 years! Oh my goodness. I'm checking this now. Green. Third life. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Today's Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. That's 3 years ago, but... when was it posted? The 21st of April. Still. Oh my gosh. Although Green does upload later. Let's say Ren the dog. Still also says it's the 21st, isn't it? 20th. That one. Okay, Ren's was premiered on 20th. Oh my gosh. It's Wednesday, my dudes. You go sit in the corner and cry. Oh my goodness. 4 years ago, the thing that started at 4 years. It's one of those things where it feels like it should be longer, but also how dare it be this long ago? Hiya, Lady Penrose. I've just found out it's been exactly 4 years since Third Life started. And I feel old. It should be one of those things like, how dare it be so far? It should just be timeless. It should always exist 2 years ago. Right? It can't be more than 2 years ago that Third Life happened. And at the same time, so much has happened in between then. That's so long. That's a sixth of my life. That be life. That be life. Oh my goodness. It does feel like a lifetime ago. It does. It was before we all knew each other, guys. Guys, that means I've been that means I've been streaming for 4 years. Almost. In June, it'll be 4 years since I started streaming. What? Door thrower. Okay. It was before you were King Multi? I've always been Katie Rose, so you know. Check Discord. I will after the stream, I guess. You've just absolutely thrown me. That's just taken over all of my thoughts and stuff that I wanted to say. In June, Empire Season 1 will also be 4 years ago. Man. You were alive 4 years ago. Fun fact. Good job, Sam. Good job. Good for you. I'm glad you're not just 4 or less younger than 4. Empire Season 1. I guess that was around that time as well. Man. That's so long. 4 years. You know, that'll mean 4 years since. Oh my gosh. I'm this close to giving Z1 an existential crisis as well, because that was the time. That was when we left school 4 years ago. Ah. How to get blood on the clock? Yeah, let's change subject away from existential crisis and talk about murdering friends. I played my very first game of Blood on the Clock Tower yesterday. If you want to see it, go head over to Sam Cask on Twitch. You see them in chat, click their name and go. But Sam every week tries to organise a Blood on the Clock Tower on our Minecraft server, the Ever SMP, and it was so good. Without Sam behaved in Pick Up Pocket Fast, we wouldn't be. You're debating their age. Touche. And so that's 4 years ago you found the life series found you as well. The life series became a thing. But yeah, we had a bunch of awesome people there on the Blood on the Clock Tower yesterday, and it was so fun. I really, really enjoyed it. I was really overwhelmed. Not to spoil anything, but I was overwhelmed at the difficulty or the complexities of the game that Sam gave us, but I'm guessing that would have been the case either way, in any case. But it was very fun. It was very fun. But, yeah. Found live series through Scott talking about it at Empires. Let's go. I was for once not working. Oh, fun fact, I wasn't working on Saturday, in theory, because I wasn't supposed to work. But one of my co-workers called in sick, so guess who had to jump there for the morning? And I was like, guys, I've got something going on at 5. It was very, very important. I've got to go home by then. And they were like, okay, you'll go home. I'm like, thank you, but I wasn't supposed to work yesterday, but I did. I was following most of the life as before, because I was following the Hermitcraft stuff. And also following Martin, knew about Jimmy and Big B, because I watched Evo. But yeah, that's how I found it. I was watching B-dubs, Scar, Green. I almost said Mumbo, but Mumbo comes in at last live. I've been watching Martin for the past 13 years. 2012, maybe a little bit longer, for 2014, I think is when I started watching those guys. So like 11 years. So I've been watching Martin for a long time, and I've been watching Green since like 2017, 2018. So that's how long that's happened. Yeah, Galaxy participated in it. Galaxy had a really interesting role. And also, General, you and I didn't talk for so long, and I was like, I don't know what's happening over there. I need to find out. I had like really extensive notes on Blood on the Clock Tower. I did my best to take such detailed notes, but then realized that they were all a mess. And but it did help. It did help in kind of like convincing people and that kind of thing. I felt very happy. Yes, Blood on the Clock Tower talking. Exactly. Manga was also there. So yeah, Blood on the Clock Tower is very important. You just had to go out of work for that. But what role did I have? Do I spoil it? If you want me to, because if I say what role I was, then it's a big spoiler. So like, if you want to go see it, I highly recommend you guys going over to Sam's Twitch and just watching through. I'm guessing you have a VODs channel as well, Sam, right? I'm just kind of watching through the VODs of Blood on the Clock Tower, because it's very fun, and it's especially very fun from Sam's perspective, because I went and watched Sam's perspective afterwards. Was it the first time cursed, Sam? Kind of. Sam Cask VODs. There we go. There it is. Go watch the Blood on the Clock Tower stuff. Hiya, Hydra, but shall I spoil? Rolls aren't spoilers. This roll's a pretty big spoiler though, Sam. It's a pretty big spoiler. I guess you find out about it from the very beginning. They are announced at the start of the game. Touche, touche, touche. I was a Legion. We had a Legion game where 8 of us were Legion and 4 people were good. So the people who were good, big kudos to you guys at the on your how you did the game. General was on Team Good. Yeah, big spoilers would be saying who won. Yeah, good team played really well. And yeah, considering they were severely outnumbered. General, I want to hear from you, because I actually wanted to ask this question yesterday. What was your reaction when you found out it was a Legion game? How did you feel? Because I wanted to ask like the good people, because we knew from the start what was happening, but to suddenly know you are that severely outnumbered, how did that feel? You don't know what Blood on the Clock Tower is? So Blue Jay, Blood on the Clock Tower is kind of like Werewolves or Among Us. Wasn't surprised because what no one was saying any info. Sam won. Yes, Sam is the game master, so Sam always wins. Yeah. So it's kind of like a social deduction game, but instead of like Among Us where you're either crewmate or imposter, everyone has a role. And it was my first time playing with like goodness knows how many roles. Like I'd say over 20, right? Well, let me just get my notebook. I can count the roles for you guys. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. 29 roles that I had to kind of remember. Started downloading a game. The download time has been steadily increased from hours to still be here all day. Oh no. Oh, Hydra. It does that for me sometimes. It was very fun. And Sam has set everything up so that there's like a playable game on the Ever SMP. And he's kind of like the game master and kind of guides us through the game. And it's just, the work that goes into that is just crazy. And I really appreciate every moment of it. Because, oh my gosh, it was so good. It was so fun. Biggest shock was something you found out later in the game, but you won't take as spoilers. Okay. Can you give me a hint what it was involving? Was it involving a certain person or a certain event? It's at 20 now. Oh dear. Oh dear. Touche, you should probably be watching the stream on a different device. Put it in the Discord. Okay. I'm just intrigued. I am intrigued. Oh my gosh, my iPad should be charging at this point. Otherwise, we're not going to have a long drawing stream. Your cat is judging you. Okay. Downloading on your Nintendo. Aha, fair. Ba-dum-ba-da-ba-da-bum. Oh my gosh, there's been so much more discussion happening. I didn't realise. I should be reading. I wanted to be wrong. Oh well. Because anyway, it was so fun. I'll happily join another game if I am able to, but I'm very often working on a Saturday while it's happening, so that's kind of like the caveat, but oh well. Okay. Guys, should we start drawing? Probably not happening. Oh, yeah, you did. Yep, that did happen. That did happen, General. Okay. I'm still reeling from Third Life being 4 years ago. I'm still reeling from Actually, before we get drawing, now I keep talking. Yeah, this is always happening. This is always happening. Thinking about restarting. I don't know. So sometimes games do take a long time. So about last stream, right? Or not last stream, but last week, right? We were going to do some drawing. We were going to have some artage, and I just realised I haven't started my drawing program, which is not going to help anyone. You won't be able to see nothing. So we got very derailed on what we wanted to do by an idea of what if Life series characters had different roles? And we kind of gathered different ideas. Completely off the rails, for sure. I might need the drawing program, that is true. And so yeah, we had this idea of what would happen if different like characters were in different roles. As an example, black screen as an example. There we go. Took a minute. And so they don't normally take 28.5 hours, but that could just be going down faster than that. I've had a game that has taken like 4 hours to download. But yeah, so one of these was Lizzie as the Red King. And then Joel has her hand. And we found out it looks very much like Technoblade. Romantically holding hands with Joel, but that's fine. But yeah, Lizzie as the Red King. And I didn't finish it on stream, but I finished it off stream because the game's outreach stuff was happening and I wanted to watch. And I can't really watch that very well from streaming myself, you know? And so yeah, this is what we finished on that. And I also did another thing. I did our favorite buzz. I did our little guys, the ranchers. I did the ranchers as the desert duo. Generally saw the crown and thought Technoblade. Yeah, it's not necessarily Techno. So we've got Jimmy in Scar's shoes for Third Life, and Tango in Green's shoes for Third Life. They're on pizza. They have Bubbles, who's obviously an upside down Void IB, Rancher Duo, exactly. And so after that brain rot, I was like, I have to draw this as well before the brain rot has really truly subsided. And so yeah, that is also what I had to do. And so I finished that today, actually, quite hastily. This is why there's also no signature on this yet. Need to do the signature. So that was also a thing that I was like, I kind of have to do this now that we've had this idea. That's the whole thing. The implications of this. Tango winning a life series. The angst between Tango and Jimmy. Like, the only reason that Tango could win was to get rid, like, to yeet Jimmy off. No, that's a different series. To win in a fight against Jimmy. Oh man, so happy, so cool. Screen. No, that's not gonna work. I think I actually. Pizza, why do you have such pale thighs? That was a weird. Secret Life villain, Jimmy. Ooh. I haven't thought about Secret Life at all. Thing is, my brain and like when it comes to the canon of things, stops at limited life, where it's like the whole canon, and I think it kind of stopped with my, you know, storytelling enjoyment of this life series, if that makes sense. Whereas like I go up until and including limited life when it comes to like the canon and the characters. And for Secret Life and Wildlife, I just see the players playing Minecraft and I don't see much of a story behind it. That's my Don't quote that, no! Just finished watching Tango's Double Life today, let's go. And so I kind of like instinctively don't consider the lore in those series, even though they do have their own lore and that and storylines and stuff. Yeah. I can't believe I've been quoted. But yeah, this is what I did. If you actually stopped at Secret Life, can't write Wildlife forever. I think that's, yeah. You feel that way about a lot of fan life series? Fan life series. Fan work of the life series? Your life is complete. A late Sunday wake up to a cozy little so-and-so stream. Let's go. Hiya, my dude. Hiya, Taco. You enjoy the line on Easter, on this lovely Easter Sunday. Hopefully the new series could be Laurie. Is there a new series coming? I'm still not over the fact that Third Life was exactly 4 years ago. I'm just, I don't know what to say. I feel old. Yeah, existential crisis, man. But here's the thing, right? Because I was working on this, and I was working on the other guy, I have done nothing for the Animatic all week. And it's been a long week. Well, so much to do. There have been hints from Scar and Green that it is coming. Oh, interesting. Okay. It's coming soon? Seriously, I'm thinking. Not sure if it's confirmed. Oh. I'm intrigued. I'm always excited for a new live series. And especially when since I've said like I'm not going to do an animatic to the new live series, I felt a lot more free and a lot more excited, whereas before I was having like dread. I'm spooky for a second. You agree with the Breeze Crazy Leap Green thing is Skin's eyes aren't eyes but voids. Isn't that what all the Void Eye beings are? We've got the Void Eye Bee, the Void Eye Llama. I think they've confirmed it will happen. I think it's ages off. Okay. When the grass drops. They play on a snapshot. When will the gas drop? Will it in the next drop? It feels like it's just been announced. It's like one of those things where I don't expect things to drop so quickly after being announced. That's what's kind of been throwing me on the new game drops of Mojang, with them bringing like new features throughout the year, and not like in a big June update. Skynet 3.0 with fighter jet ghasts. Oh my gosh, that sounds epic. But the fact that the ghasts are moving so slowly, it'll be one of those scenes where you think it's so epic, but they're just moving in slow motion towards each other. Oh, think of them hitting the ghost and then murdering the ghost and then falling to their doom. How dare. You can make ghosts fast? How? How can you make them fast? You can't use potions on them. Unless you're like leading them with an elytra and you're zooming your rockets along with an elytra. Some weird satisfaction for your soul imagining life series names because Spooky Llama Bees, Spooky Life. Ooh. No idea what the twist would be. It would be a Halloween special, Spooky Life. Spooky, spooky. Hiya, Butterbox. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the follow, my dude. It's good to have you. If you lead the boat to them, put a double strider in the boat, sit on top of the strider, your hitbox will push the ghast along. Sam and your game-breaking stuff. It's like the cinematography expect you to... You don't have to add the slow-mo stuff. Exactly, that's the idea. And they're also doing this, they're like acting the slow-mo themselves. So, tell it to Jimmy and he may win. Oh, do you think he could pull that off? Do you think Jimmy could pull it off if you lead a ghast by a boat? He'd try and he'd fall and die trying. Primarily here for lurkage because of exams. Yay, we love exams, Cucumber. You all the best in studying for them, my dude. All the best, all the best. Complete utter fate in Jimmy, yep. This looks like a man who can win a life series. Look at that face. Look at that face of a guy who can win the life series. Abso-flipping-lutely. Hiya, Jolo. Thank you, it's a pain. I feel you, my dude. I've got a presentation to hand in by the end of next week, and I am grinding. I've spent my Easter Sunday and I spent my Good Friday grinding on that. We love it. Waiting for an Impulse or Etho win. Ooh. So, top of my list was always, after Martin won, top of my list was Joel. Joel or Gem. But Impulse win is also high up there. I'd say Gem, Impulse, Etho are on my list. Who else have we got? I've just gone completely blank of life series players. Who's in the life series? When I see Twitter lose their freaking minds, yeah, at some point Jimmy has to win, right? Tango? I mean, yes, Tango. I'm kind of like considering people who could win though, who are kind of okay enough at the games. I mean, do we count Cleo's win? Because I could see a Cleo win. Big B? Win one. Yeah. Double win after Martin being on top. After like... It's still the winner's ticket fact against Impulse. General, what is that one? I've never heard of that one. The winner's ticket fact. What does the winner's ticket mean? Tango's amazing. PvP skills checks notes. Clear's a win in all our hearts. It's just one of those things. I was rooting for Tango in Simple Life. I thought Tango was going to make it. I was like, right, I'm banking on Tango. Tango is the only perspective I'm going to watch. If Tango doesn't win, then I won't know who wins. I have since found out that it was Scott who won, but I was like, I am putting 100% on Tango. Been killed by the victor. Eliminated 4 times. Killed technically once/twice. So eliminated. He's always been eliminated by the victor. Killed by B-dubs in Third Life. Killed by Scott. Yeah, he was killed by Scott in Last Life. Double Life, he was killed by Pearl. Oh. Limited Life, he was killed by Martin. I don't know about Secret Life. Anyone in Secret Life know? Secret Life and Wildlife, what Impulse was killed by? Don't know them that well. I'm surprised that I know them that well for the others, but I've drawn half of them. Scar in Third Life is technically eliminated by Scott, Pearl. Oh, he's kind of like etched on, indirectly eliminated by Scar in Third Life. Makes sense. Or Green, I guess, in Third Life. Wait, Scar in Secret Life. Are we saying Secret Life? Oh, okay, okay. I see what you're saying. Tango was killed by Jimmy in Double Life, yes. Bless. His snail got him in Wildlife. Oh. No, that's such a bad way to go. Oh my gosh. The only Wildlife finale I watched was like Joel's, because Joel's was the very first one I watched, which was a good banking. I watched Green's so that I could see it was always going to end like this, Jim, and also Jimmy's. The Katie, yes, sorry. Hi. How do I just waffle on for half an hour without doing any work? It happens so often. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, let's go back to drawing. Let's do stuff. Okay. I need to get back into this. It's never just my fault. It's also chat's fault, but that's fine. Watching Joel together was fantastic. Yeah, Zim was right next to me. That was really cool. Did you know he'd won at that point, yeah, Zim? Drawing art skills. Yeah, we're back onto the question, onto the thing. Because I was like, I think I suggested like, oh, I'd like to watch Joel. I wasn't sure if you'd already watched stuff before. Because what was that, Friday? Had I gone to uni that day? I don't remember. You used one of the last live and I thought, okay. We're great at being nuisances. Of course, we're all nuisances here to each other, and that's what makes it okay. So, we're gonna lock into Jacob Boys. I'm gonna try so hard. That's what we get paid for? Sure, do we get paid? Do we get paid for this? Okay. Are we ready? Jackson's gonna wait. Exactly. Are we ready? So, in case you are unaware, and I need to remind myself as well, because it's been like it's been a week and a half since I've worked on this, because I barely worked on this during last stream, so I'm not counting last stream. So it's been like Thursday last week was when I last worked on this. Sam gets paid. Oh, good for you, I guess. What's on the docket for today? I don't know. $1 billion a second? Oh, okay. Interesting. Killing you doesn't count as pay. So how often Sam kills you every second? Right. So, in case you are unaware, I am doing a Double Life animatic to the end of Double Life of like Pearl and Scott and their final moments. Sam would never hurt anyone. I was there in Craftman, true. And the song is to Please, 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 a song by Sabrina Carpenter, but we're doing it Carpenter, but we're doing it to a epic version cover by Morgan Clay. And so I decided last time I was going to play it live and nothing happened. So I wonder if we risk it again, like just to remind ourselves what we have so far in this animatic, because there's been so much happening in between then. I need to get back into it. And I should have maybe done that today, but I didn't have time. We love it. That's the problem of like promising to do the art every Sunday. I'm like, what if I've done nothing in between? That's fine. We'll just do it on stream. Or if we don't get completely sidetracked. So I'm gonna play off the song. Hopefully do it to the right beat. We'll figure it out. I don't know if I'm doing it. I don't know exactly when to change frames anymore. I can't quite remember. Let me just quickly cheat and figure out. Please, please, please prove I'm right. And say it again. Please, please, please prove I'm right. And then it goes, mother. Okay. Do I put this all together in iMovie Final Cut? I do not. I put it all together in DaVinci Resolve, so I export it all to my computer, and then I do it in DaVinci Resolve. Do you want to pop in? Might pop you back. Frame you saw earlier was awesome. Warning, song is not PG. Warning, song is not PG. Yes, I have blurred out the thing. It's not PG. Maybe I should do a Gonna try our best. Why all the limited life jokes? We need to have the double life stuff. Limited life and last life jokes is what we got. We got to have double life because we're working on a double life animatic. Hiya, Fry Nugget. Thank you so much for the follow, my dude. I appreciate it. Good to have you here. Welcome, welcome. That was pretty loud, and sorry for the volume. It was very loud for me as well because I had YouTube on max again for some reason. Less bits, more drama, for sure. And that's what we got there here. We've got all the drama. Which people are laying dead? We have Cleo here. They've got their kind of initials. We have Martin down here. We have Impulse, and Impulse and B-Dubs up here. And we have Tilly that she's walking to over here. Impulse cameo for sure. Because we had to have Impulse. Let's go on. There we go. Oh. Anyway, so Pearl's walking through a field. It zooms in on her bloody sword, which she lays down to go and pet Tilly one last time. She takes Tilly's collar in her hand, which I need to not forget. Do-do-do-do. No, wait, that's not how it goes. Do-do-do-do. Train of thought. With the Jews, my train of thought is gone. Trombone made you sad boy soul. So, okay. Yeah. Please, please, please don't bring me to tears when I just did my makeup so nice. And so here we have the Fantastic Four trailer came out. Okay, I can't be looking on YouTube. My YouTube recommended has a Fantastic Four trailer. Dang it. I need to watch that after stream. Anyway. I'm so out of it. I'm so out of it. I've been staring at a screen all day today trying to get a presentation done. It's not happening, but it's fine. So we have then, so she holds like the, and I need to not forget that this collar is in her hand. Keep on for continuity. And so it flashes back to the beginning of Double Life where you've kind of got a very stark difference in like her complexion, so much more full of hope at the beginning of Double Life, all that kind of stuff. And so she reaches out to Scott, who's walking away. In fact, that actually made me glad, boys. Bogs. I can't really react to chat if all these messages come through. I'm just going to let you guys continue if you wish to. But know that I'm seeing them. I'm seeing and appreciating the jokes. So yeah, Pearl is in the past reaching out to Scott, and then in the present, it's another stark contrast between like where she was at the beginning of the game, where she is at the end of the game, and it's going to be really interesting to kind of play around with like this passage of time and what it's done to Pearl. I'm thinking like sunken cheeks, dark circles under her eyes, just to kind of like still show that it's the same character and keep those base features, but still make them look very different. So I'm going to be really interested in how that is done. And maybe for like these kind of frames, we can talk about character design when it comes to the quote unquote teaching part of this. Chat, man. And so that's gonna be fun. But then like it's a case of her gaze softens, which is what this frame is, and sometimes this is all you need for a composition sketch animatic frame. Play plaid. And then you have Scott emerging from the tree line, tears in his eyes, and Pearl misinterprets this because he starts running towards Pearl. Pearl is like, open arms, my soulmate, finally gonna accept me, and then Scott runs past Pearl and towards Cleo, who she's just brutally murdered. It's merely bread. It is merely bread. And so you see the reflection of Scott kind of kneeling down to Cleo in her reflection, and then this is where we can also really play with expression here, because I think this frame is on screen for a relatively long time compared to the other one, so we can really maybe turn it into multiple frames, thinking, you know, Martin at the end of Limited Life where he's breathing in and out, but having this kind of be some soft animation where her where her eyebrows scrunch in, or like tears form in her eyes, something like that. I'm kind of thinking that. Then you kind of cut to Scott, who's like saying goodbye to Cleo, and in between them you've kind of got this empty space in which Pearl is, where she's between those two, being the soulmates that they wanted to be, that kind of thing. All platonic, of course. You can kiss your homies on the head before saying goodbye. And then my thought is, now Scott turns to Cleo. Scott turns to Pearl. And so I'm thinking he's kind of like grabbing something out of his jacket. Doobie-doop. How to hold a jacket open. Look at my goods. Do you want any of my wares? Because I have TNT in my jacket pocket. Boop. Is Scott about to blow up? He is. Massive hand compared to his body. Anyone else imagine an animatic to bring me to life by Evanescence? Not one that I know. Although I do feel like I've heard of that name before. Is that on my list? Bring me to life. New. I'll write it down. I'm always in the space for listening to a new song. Bring me to life, Evanescence. Evanescence. It's hard to write. It's very satisfying to say, but difficult to get all the things in there. all the alphabet. All the alphabet into word. Great song. That New to Her song is from 2003. Dudes, I know no songs. And keep in mind, I have done songs to The Beatles, Kate Bush, REM, so I have nothing against older songs. So I wasn't saying like I don't know it. Is it a new song? I'm saying I've never heard of it before because I've probably never heard of it before. I've got a very strange knowledge of music. It's very abstract and not in, you know. The car is too noisy to hear me. For me to hear. Oh. So yeah, Scott. That head placement is wrong, but that's fine. That's all we care about these sketches. Duplicate. And then the dude pulls out the TNT. I'm still very concerned that these are too many frames. These are a lot of frames for a very short animatic, so I need to figure this out. But maybe some of these frames I don't render completely. Who knows? And that's kind of like the thought process that I want to go through now. I'm thinking he's going to swing his arm so that his arm's kind of there. He's holding the TNT there. Bye, Blue Jay. Have a wonderful rest of your day, my dude. Thanks for hanging out. Defo needs to have this further over. And so I can still have like a hand on his coat. Because I never know what to do with the arms in a very many frames, and it's just a very annoying point. So to know what to do with the arms in this is great. And this is where I'm kind of hoping to do a new style, where Pearl is looking over to Scott here, and all the colours fade, and it's literally just either black line, I'm guessing white lines on black background is what I'm thinking. And it's very scratchy, and it's kind of like, in the style of the Inktober prompts that I did. This kind of scratchy style that can be done very quickly. And like multiple frames of that in that sense, I think. But I will say the Family Crest Battle Cry is one of the ones where I'm like, I'm so pleased that we got to do what we did with it. Beg you, don't embarrass me, mother of lover, I. Do. I'm gonna have to listen to that song again. Oopsie. When somebody loved me, oh, everything was beautiful. So is it going like between Last Life, where they were partners, and Double Life? Every hour we spend together. Oh, that's heart-joking. That's heart-joking, heartbreaking. I read joking. Jokes. I read jokes. That's heartbreaking. And when he was sad... How has no one done that yet? I was there to dry your tears, and when she was happy, so was I. Animatic's bad guy? Heart-joking. The opposite of heartbreaking, where you're just laughing so hard that your heart breaks. Or jokes. I don't know. Running with the Wolves by Aurora. Oh, I've got that in the Animatic playlist. I'm running with the wolves tonight. Running with the wolves. Right, I need to listen to the song again briefly. Let's hope it's not too loud this time. Just like the second part of it. Oh, so loud. Heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. Break you, don't embarrass me, mother lover. Okay. Da 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 da. Okay. Now this is a really difficult part. The time is 1%. Let's go. What do I actually use for animatics? Are you talking about me? Talking to me? What do I use? In what sense? What do I use for animatics? Imaginary bingo card with this animatic is if Martin gets so traumatized that he has to go back to therapy. Oh man, I rewatched his like every now and again. I rewatch through like my animatic playlist, and every time it gets to running up that hill, I watch it. I like watch the original video, and I'm like, I just need. Or if I feel like I need a dopamine boost, I watch then Martin's reaction to it. What program do I use? I'm currently using Procreate to draw. Procreate to draw on the Apple iPad. And then to edit, I use DaVinci Resolve, which is a free editing program, but professional grade. Very good. Steep learning curve, but once you learn it, you're good. And you continue learning it. What's Ivan said? Heart joking, we call that a heart attack in medical parts. Yeah, sure. Backboards for like 10 minutes. Well, welcome back. So, okay. The next part, I'm going to skip. I'm going to skip the next part because it intimidates me. Basically, the next part is a sequence of Pearl in this really sketchy style, running towards Scott to prevent the explosion. And then it ends with it jumping, with her jumping while it explodes. Let me look at my notes. So. She leaps towards him. Okay, Pearl realizes what he's doing, starts sprinting towards him, arrives just too late, leaps towards him. Bright flash, Scott dead. Pearl lands on Ash. Okay, idea. I am going to skip this running phase until I have figured out what the sketchy style is that I want to do. Because then I can figure out how I want this part to be. And it might be a part that I do right at the end of the animatic while everything else is done, because it intimidates me. A running sequence where she's tripping over stuff. in future, this is often the case as well. I'm usually very ambitious with these animatics, and they don't turn out as ambitious as I plan them to be. So I want to say, like, all these things that I've been talking about, it's me spitballing, it's me throwing stuff out there that could potentially be done. And sometimes those things get turned into me animating a hand grabbing a scroll. Sometimes those things turn into... yeah, that's likely the only example I can think of right now. But... Pearl lands on Ash. I thought them in person. No, her real secret soulmate all this time was Ash Ketchum. Ash cameo. No, but I want to say I promise all these things and I'm throwing out all these ideas. Very often they are out of my skill level, and it's one of those things where I will see if I feel capable to try and tackle that, or if it's just too daunting of a task to do that. Because I've had that in every single animatic where I've been like, I'll animate fire frame by frame, sure, and then it's been like, no, that's not happening, not gonna do that. And I've had all these like crazy ideas for this kind of thing, and it's one of those things, we have these animatics planned out in our heads, and I can totally imagine how this could work for Pearl, but I have no experience in animation in that kind of thing, and that's really the way I have it imagined in my brain, is like this anime fight scene, but from like really forced perspective angles, and I don't think I could do it. But then again, you never know if you don't try. So it's kind of like that dichotomy of, I am going to plan this to be really, really, really cool, but also really, really outside of my comfort zone. In some cases, in some places. But if I don't do that, then who knows? Those ideas wouldn't be given any space to mingle in my brain rent-free. And I wouldn't maybe make anything as cool as I'd make if I do have these things rotting around in my brain. Basically, TLDR, be ambitious, but don't be disappointed if all your ambitions aren't met. And that's what I also want to give as a caveat of, don't be disappointed if some of these things don't happen the way I'm explaining them to you now. I think that makes sense. I think that was an inspirational thing that I should clip later for maybe video purposes. That's why I've got a notebook right next to me, is I need to kind of like think of, okay, inspirational speech notes. And I've kind of like been keeping them for potential future ideas. 1 hour in Spurs Breach. How do you write speech? Is it 2 E's? Okay. Anyway. You've pictured a double life animatic where once Martin goes because of Cleo dying, a ghostly bush baby comes to collect him in the afterlife. Alas, perhaps that's too much. Who knows? Who knows? Noted, you will be disappointed. Good for you, Sam. That does sound really cool. Or just like having Nettie kind of reaching out to him like, come home. You're good now. You can come home now. Imagine that, but not double life. 2% yes. Not double life, limited life. Imagine that in limited life where he's just... It's an Odysseus Penelope kind of thing, right? Where Odysseus just murdered all these people and then goes back to his family. I've always seen Martin as Poseidon, but Martin as Odysseus in limited life works very well as well. Everything's coming back to epic. Yeah, take your shot. We've had the epic reference. We need to play around with the bingo board. And I think epic reference should go on the bingo board. Anyway, I'm going to skip over this running scene because it is very daunting and intimidating to me now. And I don't think either way it's something that I could do on stream, because brain is 10,000 other places on stream. Something that I need to, in quiet position, do myself. Quiet position, that's a weird description. In a quiet place where there's no distraction, kind of think it through and use references. I forgot about the beginner board as well. It's so old. In case you had no idea, we do have a bingo board, but I need to rejig that, and it's actually on my to-do list of like stuff. Same place on the to-do list as YouTube captions for the YouTube videos, as you suggested we do like months ago, Sam. Content creation. Where's the bingo board? Yeah, this is the old bingo board. Old. I think this was done like years ago as well. What would be... It's okay to get sidetracked is still very, very... It's still very, very, thing. Oh my gosh. Oh, hi, Hydrates. Hi, Hydrates. I mean, so basically, if we want... This is how the bingo used to work. Do I need to chug? Yeah, I probably need to chug. 1, 2... How is it that people just are like, as soon as they see one... Oh, yeah, it was first a stretch. I will stretch. I can't remember if I did stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15. I will chug my bottle. Sam, you waste your points. We've made it, folks. It's more than enough. I have a full bottle. It's so full that when I closed it, the water spilled out. So there's literally like no air in my bottle, and I've just spilt it myself. So Sam, like, we've had 10 of them. Yeah. Yeah. You kind of need to overdo it somehow because of latency. A little bit for latency, but... Because so you don't risk it. Dang it. Right. Cheers, everybody. I'm sorry, I didn't do it in one. There's really a lot. Hold on. This is really difficult. I'm so hydrated right now. And then having to do this as well. Give me a sec. I had to interrupt halfway there. Oh my gosh. I couldn't do it in one, guys. I'm sorry. I think that's my first interruption. The first time I couldn't do it in one. So much. You can see 2 hybrids in a row doing a train. And then one more to shove. Yeah. Flippin' heck, man. That was... Anyway, back to... So the bingo board was like, people can take a screenshot of this if they want, and then if we get a bingo in a stream, the first person to call bingo, pardon me, could request a channel point redemption. Anywhere from Hydrate to Ukulele Interlude, whoever wanted to do it. We got quite a few extra ukulele interludes through that. And that's how the bingo board worked. Out of curiosity, how old do you guys think the bingo board is? People who have been here since the beginning of it. I think it's old. I think I'm going to say like 2 years. I'm going to say 2 years old. Shall we see? Canvas information, statistics. This was made on... Yeah, 2.5 years. Sam was right, 2.5 years. So September 23, almost... No, wait. 2 years. Wait. How does maths work? My brain is fried. It is the 14th of September 23. That's almost 2 years. I can't maths. Almost 2 years. That's 1.5. Yep, I can do maths. So yeah, basically, if you want, you can screenshot this and bingo me. This always... I mean... This has always been a thing, but people have forgotten about it. But yeah, I for like the longest time I've wanted to redo this. In fact, when Zim came to visit, we wanted to redo it, but we forgot. But yeah, back in December. My maths is bad. Oh, that was really difficult chug, man. That's really taken it out of me. Oof. Okay. Okay. The church bells are calling me to be holy on Easter Sunday, so I'm going to put my noise-cancelling headphones on. I don't have time, guys. I'm streaming. Okay. Whew. That chug was awful. That was a really, really awful chug. How dare. I don't think the bingo works anymore. I don't think that's valid. I think that, yeah, that's why we kind of wanted to redo it, because the link didn't work. Yeah. Oopsie. Hello? I've just clicked on something. What's power-ups? Okay. Okay. Bye, PBJ. Right, so. Please, please, please prove I'm right. Beg you don't embarrass me. Mother of a lover. Ah, 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 ah. I definitely, so basically what I definitely want is I want a frame where you just see Pearl's hand reaching out. This is a fantastic hand. Right, let's just do a bit more building. Such a good hand. Such a good hand. It's an amazing hand. Basically, it's like forced perspective. You see her hand, like it's like we'd see a hand reaching out from us. I think I've drawn this kind of thing before, right? Where have I done that before? Oh, Etho! I did Etho's hand once for the short of "This time wasn't in our favor." Hiya, Angel, Lizzie, happy Easter and Third Life. It has been officially 4 years. Everyone's telling me that and it's giving me an existential crisis every single time. And so, yeah. And then it reaches out and then basically you've got an explosion. And I think we do black and white. I think we turn this to black and white, no color. And then basically her, like the background is black, her hand is white. And then the white explosion covers up the hand. This is going to be ambitious. This is an ambitious idea, my gosh. You did start that. I blame you. In a green cosplayer eating dinner. Okay. And then she lands. I'm just trying to think about the like physics of this. So she jumps, reaches her hand into the explosion, but lands. So we kind of like, I think we could have a. I think we could have like, you kind of just see the hand. It's kind of like ash. And then a foot. And then like a knee. Only the knee can't go there because that doesn't anatomically make sense. I have to go somewhere like there. And then hand. I want to say, this is legitimately the extent of my composition sketches. This is literally like what they look like before I do a lot of stuff. Sometimes they're more refined, sometimes they're even less refined than this, but I am not just kind of like making this ugly just for the sake of stream. This is legitimately as bad as it is. I wasn't lying when I said that stuff was happening. I wasn't lying when I said this is the messy, ugly composition sketch phase and that we're doing stick people. Because I want to keep it loose. Genuine artistic question. How would I play if when the explosion goes off, Pearl's evil red eyes eye glow reverts to whatever Pearl's eye color is? Like to show the emotional impact. I've done that before with Scott, actually. I've done that before with Scott in Last Life. Would be an interesting parallel to run. I'll see how I feel when I've got the drawings in, because it's an easy change to make. Because I feel like there's going to be so much going on emotionally, whether that would even be noticed or necessary. But I'll see. You know what? This is even bad for me. I'm gonna do this. I need to get like the whole picture understanding. So, boop, boop. And then it zooms into just seeing the hand and the leg. Something like that. Something like that. Tango, Etho, Pearl, your brain is stockpiling these for some reason. Is that in reference to something else? Thing? Hydra? Just back from dinner. What did you miss? I don't know. What have we been chatting about? All sorts. How these drawings aren't supposed to be good. That's certainly part of it. I don't know. We've been chatting about all the little things. So yeah, I just want to see a hand and a foot. And then I think we cut to the front of her. Maybe she's looking up. I have been traumatized with Third Life. Crow, because I know you watched maybe a little bit of Third Life. That was 4 years ago today. So 4 years ago today, Third Life. Episode 1 came out. Ah! Squid 3 is a good emoji for that. Don't do that too. Yep. 4 years ago today. Everyone's been doing that to me today, so it's only fair that I do it to other people coming in. Don't want to feel that old yet. Yeah, well, sorry, mate. This is happening. That's how it works. I can see like this frame almost being like kind of like a prayer position, but also unhinged. And something that I think that I just realized while I was talking about it earlier, I think with like the whole sketchy part of it, she's down on one knee to marry someone who's just blown themselves up. Control Z back. Undo. 4 years ago, Scar was blown. Not yet. Oh no, that is true. Scar was blown by green. I thought we were talking about the cactus fight. Dang it. Melted when you realised 8 years ago was 2017. Oh no. Found memories of having been. And you remember how the Euro wasn't a thing yet. Oh wow. Deutschmark then, right? I don't know what the French currency was, but Deutschmark, my gosh. I don't have memory of that. Not old enough for that. Francs. Francs? Ah, interesting. Because in Switzerland you have Swiss francs, which makes sense. Like you've got the dollar and you've got the Australian dollar. Huh. Okay. Gotta go for a bit more. It's 6% progress. Let's go, Hydra. I'm just trying to figure out how I kind of like convey like the exhausted helplessness here in body language. We'll figure it out. And then I say we do a cut to behind. Switzerland, where they had Swiss francs and spoke Swiss German. They still have Swiss francs and they still speak Swiss German. Try to be productive and procreate, and almost all your drawings end up as a liquefied, colourful mess. Maybe you need to put like a timer on yourself. So my thought is kind of like, we zoom out and it's kind of a bit of a silhouette situation. Where we zoom out and it's like the, please. Oh my gosh, that was so out of tune. That actually hurt my ears singing it. I apologize, everybody. Please. And then she stands up. I wonder if my recent watching of The Hunger Games has influenced the tone of this. I think it has. So I watched I've been watching The Hunger Games for the first time. My first watch through. We watched the first 3 movies. Just got the 4th one to do. And my gosh. I've really been enjoying them. It's just so refreshing to have good stories again. And then it's like the sunset again. Okay. I'm going to quickly go through these and have Tilly's collar in her right hand. And everywhere but the flashback. So that's the flashback. Flashback, reach out. No more flashback. Tilly's collar in her right hand. Boop. Just so that I remember that it's there. Right hand. Right hand. This is taking so much brain power. Right hand. Right hand. Right hand. Hey, Gooseback. Hello, hello. Bum-ba-dee-doo-doo-doo. Thought the Franks have French Franks as the namesake, with German being, well, German? Well, yeah, we have Swiss francs, so that's what they're called. Missed the good old stories of movies to yesterday. Saw a Minecraft movie, kind of felt insulted, not gonna lie. Yeah, it's interesting, because Jola, I didn't enjoy the Minecraft movie either. But I've heard from so many people who've really loved it. That's her left hand, good. And then she's landing with the collar. I guess we could move this still. And then the collar, right hand. Cool. It's interesting with the Minecraft movie because I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed the gags and the funny parts, but I thought it was just an empty story that really told nothing. And I think, you can still have a kids movie that tells a good story. As an example, the Mario movie. And it's just kind of like, it's one of those things where it's made for kids, and you think, well, okay, the kids of this generation, they're loving it, and I'm thinking, sure, okay, it wasn't made for me. That's fair, that's okay. Even though Minecraft is such a multi-generational thing, and I feel like they should have made it for more audiences, whatever. But that people love such lacking stories nowadays. I'm just kind of like, okay, where's cinema going nowadays? Why is the attention span so bad? Yeah, slight little tangent away. Yeah. It's where you live. Minecraft movie meal from McDonald's is sold focaccia out. What? At least where you live, the Minecraft movie meal from McDonald's is sold. Oh, the focaccia as in the F out. Okay. It's sold out. Interesting. Gosh, bless him. Okay. Please, please, please. Prove I'm right. Please, please, please don't bring me to tears when my makeup so nice. Heartbreak's one thing, my ego's another. So yeah. Oh. So we have and then the oh. Which is very, very very descriptive of me, isn't it? Okay, so I'm saying you're 18. Oh, at 8. 18. I'm saying is you're 18. Oh. Saying you're 17. And you're 16 something. So you're 17.1, you're 17.2. Keeps me having an overview of what's happening on these frames, naming them like this. Okay. Apart from the running bit in the middle, and what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to do this as I often do with these kinds of incredibly intimidating frames. 16. Insert sketchy running sequence here. You know what would be funny? Is if... Funny. Okay, hear me out, guys. I'll read the chat messages in a second, respond to the Minecraft movie stuff. I see big ones there. Imagine, because a lot of people draw this, and it might be the case that how it was in the original happenings of Double Life. Think Scott is on a hill, Morning Cleo, where he blows himself up, and Pearl is running up that hill to get to him. As a little reference to a little something. If I only could. I like that. Wait, I'm gonna running sequence here. Running up that hill. Lol. No problem. Keeps in the red box. Right. Yeah, exactly. Kids deserve good stories as well. You pray your heart out that the next generation will have an attention span long enough to experience a good movie. Exactly. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender or Gravity. Yeah. Series, yeah. I thought we were talking about the movie, the Avatar: The Last Airbender movie. I thought, oh. But yeah, those kind of series, for sure. For sure. What was that? What am I being quoted for? Dang it, did I say a thing? Often use Italian bread as a lure for a harsher curse. Words, humour first. Exactly. That's fair. That's fair. First time you heard it uttered in Italy, we love it. Agree with everything I'm saying, but you still liked it. You really enjoyed actually the amount of things on the same page of what actually was that. It kind of sucked, but I liked it. Made it over all I liked. I mean, dudes, I had my head in my hands, but with a massive smile on my face. So I was like, it's one of those movies I'm like, it's so bad that it's good, right? But at the same time, I would have just loved if they'd had a better story. When it comes to the Minecraft movie, you have some thoughts. The thoughts are really about the movie itself. The movie itself really doesn't make you just feel like you need to say this. It's kind of thing I'm thinking about. Yes, me, this whole thing really is about Ingemush. Thanks, Sam. Thanks. I did think, wow, a long Sam message. But yeah, Pearl is running up that hill. Sam, you're the worst. Let's listen to this Let's listen to this and see how we feel about the whole sequence. And then maybe we can start drawing, guys. 1.5 hours? Yeah, it's not a long stream. We can start drawing. Maybe I can start talking about character designs. Oh, I'm really excited about that part. Really long title of an empty book. Sure. Right. Let's play through this and see how we feel about it. If there's any changes we want to make. And this is the kind of thing. I've listened to the song not that many times because I've been doing it on stream. I'll probably listen to it like many times again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Whilst kind of refining these sketches, figuring out how I want to flow, maybe cutting some things out, adding some things. But drawing 1.5 hours into the stream going fast today. Hey, I've done some art. I've done 1, 2, this part, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drawings. Right. Again and again until you can't list better. Listen to the song again. Exactly. The only songs that are still on my playlist of songs that I've done animatics to are Little Lion Man, because there was a short one, and Brain is not braining. Battle Cry, because it's just such a bop. But all the other songs get deleted off my playlist if they were on there to begin with. I didn't have Eleanor Rigby on my casual listening playlist, but yeah, I still love Battle Cry. It's still so good. Feed the Machine had to go. I really loved Feed the Machine, but it had to come off the playlist because I just couldn't listen to it anymore. It's the sacrifices you make. So again, that's another song recommendation. Don't do it to a song that you absolutely adore and it's your favorite song ever, because you might learn to hate it. Just the sacrifice an artist must make. Let's listen to this and see how we feel about it. I was just about to sing Running Up That Hill. That's how that works.
Please, 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 prove I'm right. And please, 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 don't bring me to tears when I just make us so nice.
Flashback? It's gonna be like a whiplash of colours in this one. Fluffer! Sorry for the swear. I feel. I've got distracted. I got distracted by chat. I need to go back to how that was. Fluffer! I want this to be a long frame. This might be the thumbnail frame. Heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. Beg you, don't embarrass me. Fluffer. And this is the sketchy running sequence phase. Oh, I forgot to switch off the music in the background. We're singing Feed the Machine here. Hi Theo, how you doing, my dude? Song cover is pretty astounding. It is, it is. You, it's the opposite. Running Up That Hill and Rigby are still your faves. Still listen to Battle Cry very rarely. Yeah, I think it's different for everyone. Battle Cry was one of those ones where I had huge pressure to make a good animatic from it because I love that song so much. I had to do it justice with its epicness. And honestly, I think the whole animatic is still my favorite project I've ever done. Just like storytelling and quality wise. And like balance of kind of like complex drawings with some easier drawings. And so yeah, it's just kind of like I'm still very proud of that, and I'm still kind of like have those memories when I listen to Battle Cry. I guess. Fear is on the rise. There's blood all over the ground. Let's all just blindfold the poor. Watching Martin's VOD for the charity weekend. Singing a different Evil Anvil song. Oh, let's go. That's so cool. We must remind them what's in store. Here's a little... I just forgot the lyrics. Dang it. Let's remind them what's in store. So just blindfold the poor. Remind them what's in store. Break them down. Make it a little bit more. Got them now. Just break them down a little bit more, I guess. Day 2 charity VODs. I haven't either, actually. I should. I got to the end of Permit Master, and that's as far as I got. I completely forgot, actually, to continue watching that. Bum bum ba da dum. Okay. Right. This is the messy composition sketch phase, guys. We've done it. We have currently got 26 artworks, which is more than double than the previous animatic. I don't think I'm going to finish it before the end of June. I'm going to be honest, guys. But we'll see. We'll see. Exam season is afoot. We'll see. Might be a summer project, as I always say, and then release it at the end of summer. Messing around with people in the Ever-SMP. I had to sleep. Let's go to bed. Go to uni. So. Bum, 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 bum. Please, 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 prove I'm right. There's so much thinking that goes into this part. Getting shrieked by the warden. Chills. I'm glad people got chills. It's one of those things where it's like, depending on the project, like, I wept for Battle Cry. I got so hyped every time I saw the silhouettes popping in for Who Are You Really? When the part in like Who Are You Really, when Green gets shot and then falls off the nether roof, my heart stops every time. And this is maybe just sounding very self-indulgent and like me harping at my own work, but those are rare moments where I just feel so strongly with the animatic, even having drawn it myself and even experiencing it so many times, it still hits. But there's like, I think those are like 3. That and maybe in Double Life, the whole bridge sequence, like, come on, baby, come on, darling. That's kind of like, yeah, I could count on one hand how many sequences, like, really hit me in the gut. And that's why I always say I've peaked on Battle Cry, because I haven't felt that since Battle Cry. And that's why, like, Feed the Machine and Eleanor Rigby aren't my favorite animatics. Sam can speak French. Sam can speak French. What? Sam was speaking, is it quote-unquote French? Okay. So haunting. Well, this is an entire animatic of that haunting. Let's go. Oh yeah, you can speak French? Alright, go on. Go for it, my dude. You should get Beamy in chat. And so kind of like, when I've got the sketch phase, I kind of think like, oh, this could be a really cool moment. I'm thinking when Scott runs past her and says, please, please, please. That could be a good one. Yeah, we'll figure it out. And maybe like chills when she lands on the ash. These are the kind of things that I hope to convey. And it's really refreshing to hear that people still have these chills when having like different moments. And like every time I hear it, other people have different moments where they're like, oh man, that moment chills. And I'm like, oh, I didn't feel that. Cool that you did. Bonjour. Wonderful. Quite proficient in Google Translate, yes. But yeah, that's kind of like my goal is to smack people in the face with all the stuffs. That's happening. Okay. Let's have a look-see here. Should we start talking about some line art? I think I'm ready to do some line art. Just wondering, where do we start? Usually I start at the beginning. But I think I need to get some face frames in first. Some frames with like faces on them, like this one or this one. Maybe this one. Because I want to talk about character design with you guys. But I will very briefly chuck you onto this screen because you guys made me chug and I need the bathroom. So I will, before we do anything else, take a quick bathroom break. Be right back. Hello, I return. The Wither and the Warden. Line art as in the structure to lay on the canvas? Line art as in the lines that we colour in. Opinion on beans? Beans are good. I like beans. Line art as in... Let me see. Looking at Jimmy. This layer. This here. This is the line art. Beans good. Can only eat red beans. Green beans, red beans, black beans, all the beans. Boop, 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 boop. Although I don't know all the beans. I don't know if there's beans out there that I don't like. If I haven't tried them yet. Okay. Are we ready to do the line art phase? My gosh, I can't believe we're already here. I didn't think we were going to come here at that point. And so basically, we have left off or we're at the point. We are at the point where we have kind of planned out the entire animatic, and we've got a first base of drawing for the frames that we want to do. And so this is currently 26 frames long, which as a reference is almost as long as Who Are You Really, I think. Am I mistaken in that? Or was Who Are You Really like more towards 50? Oh, I've got to check that now. I've got to check that, and I can check that on my, I hope I have it on my computer. Beep. Animatics. Who are you really? So much for this being a tiny, tiny animatic. Who are you? Final. Who are you others? So we have... Oh, flip. I didn't save it? What do you mean I didn't save it like that, you silly sausage? Oh, what a mess I made of this animatic. I don't have the full illustrations. Which is really weird. Why? Why don't I have the full illustrations? Where would I put them? Ooh, who are you really? Oh, I do. Oh, I do. Okay. Oh, this is annoying. Right, I'm gonna... I'm gonna just quickly open Who Are You Really on thing. Hiya, Starry. Hello, hello, my dude. Who are you really? For goodness sake. Sorry, this is kind of like this little comment has made me kind of think, oh dang. How long was Who Are You Really? So we have the 5 silhouette shots. Right? 4 of them. 4? 1, 2, 3. We're counting, yeah. I have no audio because I might get copyright striked. 2, 3, 4. There's 4 of them. So you feel entitled to a sense of control. I can do double timer. Boop. The intro is so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This was a difficult set of frames. Couldn't tell you how many they are. 13, 14, 15, 16. And then the thing, 17. Okay, this is more than 20. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 42! It's 42! Okay, I'm a silly sausage. Haven't seen this one? Oh, go see it. It's a Laugh Life one. One of the earlier ones. Okay. It's one of the shorter ones. Basically, the thing... Oh, it's long, 15... Or 18 if you count the spaces. Okay. Thanks, Sam. I'm being a silly sausage in that case. What animatic was close to that? What animatic was close to that? Oh, was it the All That You Are animatic? Take shelter from the sun, grow in shade, walk among the trees, plants, rain will wash the sorrows away. 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, man, I can't remember why I thought that these were only 20 frames long. What the heck? 26 frames is not a lot, but it's still a lot, basically. TLDR, not a lot, but still a lot for a mini animatic, considering the previous one was just over 10. So let's see what we do with it. I think the colouring part is not going to take too long on this one because we have very similar vibes. I don't need to consider like different vibes. I need to actually consider a very consistent vibe, which is not something I've done before, like telling the story to just a scene. I hope I don't get bored. Who knows? We'll figure it out. There's probably a reason why I haven't done this before. See You Later was like 10 frames. Cause time wasn't in our favor. This isn't goodbye, this really see you later. Like 12. I think. So actually, this guy is the shortest one we've done with just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe 13. Cool. Anyway, another anniversary gift. Let's go. I would like to move on to the line art phase. And with the line art phase comes a lot of challenges. I think it is next to the composition phase is very like brain heavy, where you need to think a lot about what you want to do when. The line art phase, I feel like, is also requires like a lot of brain power, but also requires a lot of skill, if that makes sense. Like, it's not mindless drawing like it is with the coloring. The coloring I can do mindlessly while watching something. The line art is, I need to be very focused on it. Which means it's a very difficult part to me. And actually, I love the drawing phase so much that the line art phase is kind of like what I'm waiting, or the drawing phase is kind of what I'm waiting to do while I'm doing a composition sketch in the line art phase. And it's always like, if I don't do that, I feel very dissatisfied with my experience on making the animatic, if that makes sense. Basically, this is one of the biggest struggle phases for me, personally. It could be something different for you. And that's why I add art to my animatics, wow. That's why I add colour to my animatics. And that's, yeah, just to have some joy out of it. I have debated on in the past doing like colourless animatics like a lot of other people do. Because I could churn them out so much quicker. We could have so many more stories told, but I just like the rendering process and the colouring process. It's so much fun for me that I don't think I'd be true to myself if I just did line art animatics. And that's also like a part of it. Like, if you feel like you don't want to do this one point, if you just want to do colouring, that is difficult because you kind of need a base to colour off of. But if you don't fancy doing the colouring, or if you don't fancy doing the rendering part, totally fair, mate. Totally good. Don't do it. Just if you think that's like a soulless part that you wouldn't enjoy, then, you know, just have a line art. That's totally okay. Really happy I colour my animatics. Feels so much heavier every frame. It feels like a painting. Yeah, it's at a sacrifice of, instead of every drawing being like half an hour long, every drawing being like between 2 hours and sometimes 8 hours long. So it's, you know, it's got its pluses and minuses. But I really enjoy that part, and I think it kind of, for me, it elevates the storytelling because I'm not very, I don't feel very secure in my line arting. And so the colour is almost like a crutch, I guess. But I think that's just me. That's just me. Because I'm always like, oh no, my art wouldn't be good enough if I just think, because I don't think my line art looks very good. If I just looked at the line art, because it's one of those things where, obviously me saying this sounds really pretentious because I've been practicing for a long time and I think I can do okay drawings, but especially from someone who thinks, oh, they could never, because I get that a lot, like, oh, I could never be as good as you. It's all practice. I don't think I had much of a talent in it because it's not really ever something I grew up with in the family. It's just something that I kind of naturally gravitated towards myself. So it's just practice, practice, practice. I've been at this for I've been doing digital art for 10 years, but I feel like I've been drawing and like little painting for probably like 20 at this point. My whole life. But but digital art for 10 years, so it's practice. And there's always the comparison, right? There's always the comparison part. Comparison is the thief of joy. And I'm very judgmental if I just see line art without it being coloured. Or if even it's just flat colours. I was just like, oh, it doesn't look very good. I wonder why. And then I shade it. And then I'm like, oh no, that actually looks kind of good. And I always think it's the reason of my line art not being very good. I don't know. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's something I should work on. Anyway, that part aside. Gosh, I have been waffling for a good 20 minutes without drawing. Should we, actually half an hour at this point, should we do some character art? And I'm thinking I would quite like to do this drawing to kind of get a vibe for how Pearl is going to look in this animatic. Because I've drawn Pearl like as Red Life Pearl before, but that was apparently coming on 3 years ago. Because if Third Life was 2 years, if Third Life was 4 years ago, then Double Life was 3 years ago. Ah! Just 7.7 points to go for ukulele interlude. Let's go. But it's been so long since I drew Pearl like this. My style has evolved. The way I draw expressions has evolved. So, let's figure out this character we have in front of us, eh? We have this base. I'm just going to delete all these other layers from duplication that we don't need. And now we kind of got to draw on top of that. And often it kind of starts with me kind of like refining this sketch a little bit. Kind of figuring out where I want her hair to kind of flow. I'm thinking maybe the hood needs to be a little bit different. Can't remember how I do Pearl's hair necessarily. So with her hood kind of like sitting in the middle there. I think we need kind of like a hood that is both really large but also like very over her face. See that like her face is obscured in darkness, right? But I think I'll figure out the hood before I think in the line art phase I don't really care for it right now. Okay, I think that's kind of like refined enough. Like I said, barely anything. Now let's insert an image of Pearl. And I'm just going to quickly show you guys another thing that I've done. I have folders of all the Life series characters. Every time that I have drawn them, I have a folder for them. It's really interesting because you get to see how often you've drawn, how many people. I have drawn Grian 84 times. 84 times I have drawn this gremlin face. Some of the drawings are, you know, the same drawings, but just saved both times. That's fine. But basically, this is where I get all the references of the characters, and it just makes it really easy. If you have enough of those references of your characters, if you're doing like OC drawings, it's pretty cool to have them in like a folder so that you can reference, especially like your progression of them through time, right? So looking at Pearl here. Pearl, the first time I ever drew her, looks very different to the Pearl that we have today. Yeah? So that's kind of like the thought process. I mean, there's characters that look very different, that look even more different than than Pearl here. Pearl's actually fairly Pearl Pearlescent Moon for sure. For sure Pearl Pearlescent Moon. But yeah, I kind of decided what drawing of Pearls I want to put in here. Just trying to think. I think a reference I've been using for a long time has been this one. It's also a case if you kind of get head-on shots, you get like profile shots, and you kind of get a feel for their facial structure so that they look semi the same character. Because character design is really important, right? I really like this frame of Pearl. but it doesn't have her eyes open. So I think I reference this one a lot. But I'm going to puddle in. The Pearl of Tomorrow, exactly. I'm going to puddle her some references into Procreate. And I think I am going to do 2 references. One with her eyes open, one without. And I'm going to reference Battle Cry because I don't have a lot of good front shots from Feed the Machine or Eleanor Rigby. But basically I like to try and use like the most recent pictures of the characters. Because otherwise I'm like referencing old drawings of like how I don't draw them anymore, and you know, characters evolving and that sort of thing don't really have space for that, which is not very helpful. Oh, Pearl, we're going to make you so different in this. You look so different. Pearl. And then this one for the eyes. This is more of a expression that I'm going for. Right, so I have these 2 references here. And there's a lot that I take into consideration when drawing characters and kind of like drawing them consistently. And if you're just starting out, maybe these are some things that could help you, because it's something that I really struggled with in the beginning. And it's something that when I focused on it, I thought I was doing it really well, but I wasn't, if that makes sense. I thought I was like, oh, I'm really accentuating this character, their nose, and this character's jawline is so pointy and. That just wasn't the case. And in that sense, like, my tip to you is kind of learn how anatomy works so that you can accentuate lines and them still make sense. I haven't myself learned 100% of anatomy, but over the years I've kind of organically learned how it works, kind of. I still make mistakes because I haven't actually trained like a full body anatomy course, because school is boring. And I draw for fun. But if you're kind of like, oh, all my characters look the same, there's things that you can do. There's things that you can do to make them different. And these are just some things that I kind of focus on. Beating an insane boss fight. Joining in. Pearl has brought you much happiness today. Awesome, my dude. Awesome to hear, Kwai. And so, yeah, these are kind of things that you can look at when thinking about characters design. Or these are things that I look at when thinking about a character's design. It doesn't have to be you. This is what I do. Most important part to me is the eyes. The eyes tell a lot about a character and like their type of character that they are. Hello, Snowy Matt. Oh, voice breaking. Hi, Snowy Matt. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. The eyes tell a lot about the type of character, right? And just on a very basic level, it's a case of your eye is round and your character is nice and cute. Right? Or your eye is angular and your character's more serious and not to be underestimated. That kind of thing, right? Or like more of a steady person. And it can go many different ways. Like, look at my avatar in the corner. That's a friendly eye. That's a friendly eye. And it's kind of like, also you kind of interpret them with showing more emotion, or I don't know. It's that kind of like, Etho has an eye similar to this. Very angular, so does Tango. I mean, you can also say like there's a feminine / masculine side of it, but I don't really pay attention to that too much. But just go off of a character's vibe. It doesn't have to be like, oh, this character is serious, they have to have this eye shape. You can also play around with, oh, this character is serious, but they have like an eye shape like this. So it's round. And it's also a case of you can play around with, do the eyes. So imagine all the eyes are looking in this direction, right? The pupils here. Does an eye kind of start there? Or does it kind of like angle up and go there? We're talking almost Shadow the Hedgehog here. And that can kind of like add to the perception of this character, right? The eyes are like a doorway to the soul. What one do if their main art style has a very particular eye style? Then if your eye style is like all eyes having to have one shape, you can still adjust it like very slightly, right? So say maybe you've got like a very realistic eye shape where it kind of has to kind of follow this oval pattern here, right? Some people have eyes that kind of go up like strongly even in that oval shape and kind of flatten down. Or I mean, I will say if you've got like dot eyes, then that does make it a little bit more difficult. Then you got to play with something else. I just realized that could be a way of... But you can really play around with like what kind of shapes do you want to do. And just know that like the vibe that your eyes have influences how people will perceive your character. Same principle as characters with open legs being more fun and dull rather than closed legs. Jolo, that is never... Open legs and closed legs, that is never something that I've come across, I've got to be honest. Powerpuff Girls style? But I'm sure Powerpuff Girls have very expressive characters, don't they? Powerpuff Girls. Very round. But like the characters, like the different characters in Powerpuff Girls, not just the Powerpuff Girls, have very different ways that their eyes look. And you can play around with that as well. You don't have to like force yourself to one style. But yeah, it's something that works in my style, that I can like adjust the way the eyes look, and if it doesn't work for you, then that's okay. Got that from Pokemon Sprites. I've never heard of that, my dude. Different characters have varying styles, but you mean the actual girl's eye styles. Kind of growing attached to it. Then continue drawing that like that, my dude. That's totally fine. This is just basically like my tips if you're thinking, oh, all my characters look the same. I mean, the Powerpuff Girls do by design all look very similar. But say you've got your Powerpuff Girl here, right? And like 90% of them is eye. This is really cursed. I've not got a reference up, by the way. You can still, for instance, play around with... Oh gosh, my voice. I just need to take another sip of water. For some reason, everything's just gone downhill. What you could play around with it as well is like an eyelash. Like one character has an eyelash like that, another character has like 3 eyelashes. In a more simplified style, that is also a way to like define characters. Think My Little Pony. And I'm saying this because that's where my drawing started with My Little Pony, my more quote-unquote serious drawing, where I wanted to learn how to draw and wasn't just doodling skies and spiky suns. My Little Pony. I can't type. My gosh, that was painful. You've got all these characters with a very similar eye shape. Let's see. Can I get this up on a screen? I don't want to buy a thing. Open image. This is going... So all these characters have a very similar, like, style in their eyes. But look, for instance, like Pinkie Pie is completely round. Twilight has kind of like slightly, like a tip to it. And Fluttershy's got the whole, going up at the start. Like all these eye rules started out with me learning these from My Little Pony. All the ways that they kind of did different eyes. Because I would draw people's OCs and kind of learn the shapes like that. Just basically copying what people did. And yeah, that's kind of like where my beginning of this journey came from. You can kind of see like the slightest differences in a very consistent style. It works in a sense. If you want it to work, it can work. Is basically what I'm trying to say. And so like kind of going in this, you could have these round eyes, but someone could have like kind of tipping there. Speaking like, or someone could have it kind of tapering out here. You can add like little variations, and that already adds a lot to a character. So that is the thing. If you think your characters are kind of like stuck, or looking the same, my biggest recommendation is just change them in little ways, and then you'll kind of learn to accentuate those little ways that you change them, and kind of make the characters more distinct. And sometimes you can also decide that's not how I want to draw them anymore. I'll do that differently, and you'll just kind of like you'll learn. Just draw the character over and over again. By drawing the character over and over again, you kind of also learn how to draw the character. That is also an important thing. Are we talking about a Pokemon AU here? Hello? Speaking of Pokemon, what Pokemon do you think Last Life Scott or Wildlife Joel would use? There's a random people? Oh, for the victors. Oh, interesting. Lol Pokemon. Rough around the edges. Gosh, I have no idea. I could see Joel with a ground Pokemon. I don't know Pokemon that well. So yeah, basically, just take it as far as you want to. But it's a journey. It's a journey to go on. But like what the kind of rule that we had for the eyes of it sometimes being more angular, sometimes being more rounded. You can extend that to everything in a character. You can have them have a rounded nose. You can have them have like rounded hair. And now I'm just drawing green apparently. Or you can have them have spiky hair. Like Skiz. Or Tango. And also like spiky eyes. For some reason Skiz has spiky eyes to me. It's again one of those things, like obviously Skiz is a kind guy, right? Skiz is a kind character. But for me, like the round eyes never worked for him. Or like the round kind of shape language. It's a vibes thing. It needs to work for you, and you can really play around with that. Where the kind, yeah. Champ for Joel, I see that. Yeah, so you extend it to jawline, to nose, to eyes, to hair, eyebrows, lips, any kind of feature. Any kind of feature. You recently got into animation because of the Amazing Life series animations and animatics. Feels like learning art all over again. Oh, animation is so hard, man. Animation is so hard. I have so much respect for animators. But especially in animation, it's important to keep your characters consistent. So I kind of like have a mental list, and that's why these references are really important. Of when I'm drawing a character, what are their features like? Say, with Pearl, she's got middle to low cheekbones. I think I remember kind of giving her low cheekbones. Yeah, they're pretty low. Low cheekbones. In reference to what I do. Kind of like a longer face. Straight pointy nose. this shape of eye. And this shape of eye was kind of like birthed from the Scarlet Pearl. I'm just trying to think, what was the first time I drew Pearl? Did I make her? Did she have round eyes? Yeah, so the first time I drew Pearl, she had very rounded eyes. Look. Like, compare that to Mumbo, who's got fairly angular. Hers are pretty rounded. And so these character designs... stream ended? Did I accidentally click on... Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I accidentally click on stream ending? Whoops. I thought my stream had collapsed. I didn't even check. And so these character designs evolve as time, as your like understanding of these characters evolve. And dang it. And that's kind of like, yeah, don't stick to one if it doesn't vibe with the character anymore, basically. So this eye, these eyes, this eyes like this. And yeah, wavy hair. And so that's kind of like what I always think about when we're drawing these characters, right? It's like, okay, I'm now doing the draw line. The draw line. I keep saying the draw line. The line that I draw, no, the jaw line. And it's kind of like difficult because she's looking down now. I can't really do it that well. But you kind of keep that in mind whenever you're drawing the characters. Again, this is all stuff that is how I see things, how I work things, how I do things for when I'm drawing. This is no pressure for anyone else to have to do it exactly like me. Absolutely not. But if you feel like any of these tips kind of resonate with you, help you with whatever like struggles you might be going through in the art world, then feel free to adopt what you wish or ignore everything if you wish to do that as well. That's totally cool. This is no kind of like, oh, you have to do it the way I do it to be good at art. Because we all are on our individual journey, and honestly, I don't listen to a lot of art advice because I'm just happy to be on my own journey here. That's just the caveat to everything that I'm saying here. Just so you know. They know every wildcard, what green, yellow, and red names are, what the Boogeyman is, each life series gimmick, and what the limited lifetime system is. And they know the desert exists. I forgot to mention the winners though. So sad because wait. Huh? Oh, update, your favorite cousin and her boyfriend have been informed of the premise of each life series. Oh lol, okay, I love that. What brush do I use for outlines? I use the 6B pencil. I use the default 6B pencil on Procreate. There it is. If you'd like more detailed information about the brushes that I use, I actually talked about it a lot recently on a stream, and you can see that as a separate video on the stream page, so go make sure you see that if you're curious about brushes. Let's get drawing. I think we do the line art of this and then we call it a day. So, I always like to start with the face. Sometimes I start with the draw line, sometimes I start with the nose. It depends. Usually, like the lines that I do in the first place don't stay very long. This is a really tricky thing to start off with. Perspective to start off with. Because this is a perspective I don't do very often. Funnily enough, a lot of Pearl's facial features are very similar to how I think when I draw Chinoa, which is one of our original characters. And honestly, their vibes are very similar, I feel. So I'm going to draw Pearl first, and then we can decide like how we want to look, kind of like dilapidated, down. ready up a PowerPoint presentation whenever a moment presents itself to talk about the live series. Oh man. My family know a surprising amount about the live series because my dad keeps sharing my animatics with them. It's so embarrassing. Like every time there's a family gathering, it's a case of like, oh, how's your art doing? You sharing any more animatics? I'm like, because they know it's about Minecraft people. I get judged. I feel like I bet I don't. I bet they're really supportive in that sense. But like, oh my gosh, scary. I'm always like, please don't tell them. It's weird because like a work colleague of my dad's, like a former work colleague of my dad's knows about the animatics, and he's like starting up this project, and he's like he's talking about with my dad. He's talking to my dad about commissioning me for the art for it, and I'm like, this is so weird. What world do we live in? I'm gonna quickly pull up a reference photo of someone looking down. Pinterest. Oh, I'm not logged in on the computer, am I? Can I continue as a guest? No? Oh, for flip's sake. I will open it up on my phone in that case. I get references on my phone. I'm still like reeling from all my data being deleted on my computer. Where's my phone stand? There's my phone stand. Boop. Very clips for Scar. Ever since Martin, or like after Pearl, there's been no consensus on the celestial bodies, and I've abandoned that idea. Right. Face looking down. Bum 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 bum. There we go. Dum dum dum. Then I can already tell that this face is wonky. And then the hairline can be approximately there. I never draw ears for Pearl, fun fact. Food is required. You enjoy food, my dude. Enjoy the food. Based on idea on the lyrics of a song, one says, starlight, moonlight, sunrise. It's a picture of the first three. Blue sky, clean air, rainbow. Ah. Is Joel a rainbow? I don't see that. It's like of all the characters, it'd be like Scott's a rainbow. There's so many other people that would be a rainbow. Oh man, Scott could be a rainbow. I kind of want to make her look more skinny in this. Like she's kind of been starving herself, just in isolation and bad mental health. Bless her. Oh my gosh, so sad. She's got her head like looking down, her neck kind of needs to follow, otherwise it'll look awkward. Okay, let's do hair, and I think we can have hair like following covering her eyes. We do eyes first, apparently. You know, Pearl also gives like Athena vibes. I think I'd also like I draw Athena how I draw Pearl as well. I think. Don't want her eyes too far, too wide open. Bum 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 bum. I want to have like beady little eyes. Does that work? Okay, hold on. Please, please, please prove I'm right. Heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. I beg you don't embarrass me. This is really needs to be like, because her gaze is going to soften in the next frame, so this needs to be like a quite the like pained expression. This is Athena's "This is my goodbye." She looks so pissed. She looks so unhappy. Don't think you could drop the celestial symbols if you tried, so alas, Joel is now a car. Because could he be this? If we're talking celestial symbols, does that mean Joel is the International Space Station? Or Voyager? Or heck, let's just say Starship Enterprise? Or the Death Star? Death Star might work. Accidentally lowered the opacity. Needs to rhyme. Sun, star, and moon. Earth. No, sun, star, and moon. Mars, Earth. And balloon? She'll be the greatest satellite ever, for sure. Disrespecting Scar. True. True. But you know the vibes that this gives is Vi. Arcane. The interesting thing about this is Pearl has puffy hair usually when I draw her, but I kind of want to lean into that angularness, so I'm going to make it slightly more angular than usual. Like more, like stronger lines. You can so easily overthink character design. Oh, Katniss as well. Yeah, I think all the media that I've recently been consuming is this is really very much influencing what's happening here. Okay, don't think this works. But I definitely want like a strand falling over her face. She doesn't care to move it away anymore. Then that has to like make the rest of the hair make sense as well. So like that. Nope. Something in between. And then she always has the second part that I do. And let's see, how do I feel about her hair? Let's figure out this hood now. I kind of like want like her face up until I be like here to be in shadow, so you don't see it very well, if at all. So let's get a reference for a hood. Hood reference. Hood reference. Hood reference. Woohoo. kind of like cover her face like that. Something like that. It's good. It's another layer. Swoop. So that like a bit of her hair could still fall out here. I don't know. We're figuring out Double Life Pearl's updated design here. So a lot of like brain power goes into the first time this is drawn. And then it's easier for the times after that. I always find it difficult to kind of like get the head shape under a hood. Like especially at the back here. Sort of like that. I think. I kind of like it. Her hair would be at least a little bit messy because unhinged. Yeah, I think I could go more messy on this, couldn't I? I could go more. Let's see. At least like have that area there. We have another hair kind of strand going over her face there. I wonder if we'd have to move the hood back a little then. To accentuate the hairs as messy as it is. Boop. Can you tell I have engaged focus mode? Focus mode is here. You know, if you ask me, the life here is pretty rad, boys. Oh no. Oh my gosh. So good. Beep. Okay. You know, I kind of like the idea of Pearl's hair being short in this, like she cut it off in anger. But we'd have to tell that story. So we've got no space to tell that story, so we won't. So let's figure out how we want to do her hair. Because she's going to have hair like piling out of her cloak like this. I think we could still do that. Shapes do I want? What we could do is kind of get rid of some of her wavy hair through this as well. Because I think, quote me if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, like if you have naturally wavy hair and this might be just being old wives' tale actually, because this sounds like something that TikTok tries to sell you. If you've got wavy hair, but if you don't eat properly or if your nutrition is off, then, or if you're too stressed, I don't know, then your hair goes straight. Is that something that exists? Apparently it does now with Pearl. Apparently it does now. Let's figure out what part's the hood, what part's not the hood. Let's do this with colours. If I get confused with line art, then I always colour it. Oopsie. There we go. Now I understand where I am and what lines I'm working with. Boop. I like the big shapes, but let's focus. Get some thing there. Sounds like Pinkie Pie. Oh, maybe that's My Little Pony that's happening again. that's that coming back. Oh man, I should rewatch that series. I don't think I've rewatched it after I was like I lost interest. As it was still happening, I don't know how far I got. I know a lot of people really loved it. Is Pearl just Pinkie Pie? It doesn't sound real right now where I'm saying it. It sounds really bad. Okay, so maybe that's not the case, but we'll just pretend that Pearl is perpetually soggy. In this, I guess the melting ice makes you have wet hair that is straighter than non-wet hair, apparently. I think my brain's dying, guys. I think that's what's happening here. And sometimes my my line art field does go very sketchy for some drawings. And it is doing it again now. That just is how it is sometimes. Sometimes I redraw it, sometimes I just erase a bit and leave it be. Bum. Do. What are the different colours for? So that I can understand like what lines belong to the hood, what lines belong to the hair. Because I very much confused myself with the overlapping lines. And they're also like, I've got them on different layers right now. So that makes it extra confusing. Heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. Okay, so erase that part. I'm not convinced about this hood yet. Just draw out what she would look like without the hood. Gosh, it's been so long since I've drawn Pearl without the hood, man. Actually, that's a lie. It was Feed the Machine. Is that correct? Anatomically? No, that's far too small of a head. Keep in mind she's looking down. So her head needs to be bigger. Something like that. And that goes outside of the hood. That's why we do this. The anatomy isn't right. Incorrect. Bye, Jolo. Have a wonderful rest of your day, my dude. Why do I use separate layers? It's basically because I'm like, I want to erase a point from the hood, right? And so then I'm not erasing the hair that I've already drawn on. Sometimes I do it all on one layer, sometimes I do separate layers. This feels like a separate layer occurrence because there's so many different elements. Okay. And then there's also times where like I have to erase whole parts like this. And then just figure out what it looks like. Okay. I think that's okay. And then we erase these parts because the hair's in the way. Somehow it needs to reconnect in the center there, so we'll kind of have that part there. Boop. And then Yeah, I like that. I think that works. Only we haven't got any. Hold on, let's go back to white. No pupils yet. Kind of need some pupils. It's a bit scary otherwise. Don't know where she's looking though. I haven't quite figured that out. Where's she looking? Where is she looking? This part takes so much brain power, you guys have no idea. It also feels like maybe a tough face. Maybe it's because there's no pupils, I'm like, tough. Where do I want her to look? Oh, hello, we're back. Hello? Oh my gosh. Or not. Stream died. Stream died for a second. Strange. Are we back? All the frames are dropping. What the heck? What in the world? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening to the stream. Stream says bye. Stream don't wanna go. Stream is dying. Boop, 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 boop. I don't know what's happening. Everything's broken on my side? No, but dude, my Wi-Fi's dead. Oh my gosh, let me know when you can hear me. Oh, you can hear me and it looks fine? I've got really bad dropped frames though. Did everyone just die? Let me switch on music again. Like half of my frames, it's saying half my frames are dropping, which is not usually the case. Yeah, no drawing cam out of because of, you know, be right back because everything's breaking. Do you have drawing cam now? You can hear me? Okay, are we back? We seem to be back. Oh my gosh, what was that? What was that? That was out of nowhere. What the heck? I think my Wi-Fi died for a second there. Did everyone leave? Was it just me? Oh my gosh. Weird. Boop. Okay, so just trying to think how to make Pearl more unhinged looking. I think this animatic can have a bit more of a... It's buffering again. My side looks okay. Oh no, dropped frames 30%. Oh, it's going down again. I'm still around. I'm still hanging out. And I'm just gonna keep drawing. Figure stuff out. Like, A third of the frames are saying no. I don't know. The audio is also really quiet. Are we back now with audio? It's so quiet just now. Is Twitch dying? Is Twitch saying goodbye? Ba-dup-ba-dup. Seems to work fine for you. Good for you. Good to have you here, Gushback. Ah, strange. Did Europe just go down for a bit? I don't know. Okay. I'm happy with this line art. Let's see if I'm still happy with it. Did you plan the whole time? Oh no. Let's flip it horizontally to see how we feel. Yeah, it's distorted one way. Right, move it kind of like this way. That's better. One eye's higher than the other. It's always a really good idea to do these flips, because then you get a new perspective on the drawing. And you can kind of fix like some things that aren't quite correct. Like this. Her eyes feel very Sonic-like? Or is it just me? Because I don't like Sonic for some reason. Or Shadow, maybe. Yeah, it kind of gives Shadow vibes, doesn't it? I'm on my fairy arc today, apparently, talking about My Little Pony and Sonic. I think... to have like her hair kind of go here, I think will do a lot. I think I'm happy with this line art. I think I'm going to leave it there. If most people are dying anyway. Let's see. Maybe I should have like an arm here that's kind of like pointing out. A cloak there. It just feels like she stops a bit abruptly. Or the whole body needs to tilt a bit. This is like a whole like anatomy phase as well. That is pretty important. Because her head is not, or at least was not, positioned symmetrically on her shoulders. With all her hair and cape going on, I don't think I noticed. I think that's better, yeah. How does that look? Yeah, that's better. You can kind of often see when something like off on in your drawing, and you kind of get a better eye for it as you practice. But kind of flipping it horizontally back and forth, seeing at it from another angle, another color, all stuff that helps you kind of try and see your drawing from a different perspective with fresh eyes, and then see whether there's like any mistakes in it in composition, anatomy, if there's something that looks weird. Pretty much. But this is a bit more of a sketchy line art, I've got to say, than what I did, for instance, for Jimmy and Tango. Just a couple of days ago. And I kind of like it. I kind of like the vibe of the sketchiness. I'm here for it. It fits what's happening. It fits what's going on. So, guys, this is a huge step. We have started the line art phase. The line art phase has officially begun, guys. Which is cool. The hood still feels a bit too big. Maybe I'll fiddle around with that in a bit. But then again, it's generally like a bit of a fiddling and a faffing with it comes to line art. I think maybe her jawline needs to be bigger, but this is all stuff I'm going to step away. And then when I come back to this drawing, I'll see like what doesn't work, like anatomy wise and perspective wise and all that. Because I will say, like, drawing line art on stream is very challenging. It's very brain intensive. I don't think I'm very good at it, and it's not something that I've done a lot on stream, right? So the composition sketch phase and the line art phase isn't something I've done a lot on stream because it's hard to kind of quote unquote stay entertaining and also kind of get quality drawing out, and it just takes a lot of focus. But like I said, I want to share every single step of this process to you guys. Kind of be completely transparent in what goes on when I'm drawing these animatics, take you along for the journey, and maybe you can learn something along the way if you're open to picking up on some tips and tricks. But yeah, we have begun on the line art phase. I bet I'm gonna look at this again tomorrow morning and be like, what did she draw? But that's sometimes the case. That's just sometimes how it is. But other than that, I think I'm gonna poddle you guys over here. And it's because each drawing has an established layout, making a wrong possible to need correction. It's because each drawing has established layout. Correction then. If you're saying is like it's really easy to kind of change frames right now. It does take a lot of brain power to change frames, absolutely. But yeah, that's the whole kind of point of these sketches being very low effort. Like, look at how low effort this sketch is. Oh, my iPad has just crashed. Oopie. Look at how low effort this sketch is. These composition sketches are really low effort, and it's just like, it's so that I've got something on the page to work off of. And it takes a minute. If that was what your question was, or your comment. And then we kind of, at some point, have to dial it in, so we start doing the line art, and that's what I started doing here. Cool. I am going to leave you guys to it because I can hear my voice going. And, yeah. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We finished the messy composition sketch part, well, most of it. There's still the whole running section that intimidates me to no end, but I think it'd be a really fascinating challenge if I do decide to go for it. Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. I guess God knows. Lord and Saviour, what is the animatic going to look like? I pray at night in my bed. Jesus Christ, please tell me. Anyway, along those lines, happy Easter everyone, he's risen. We love that. And yeah, I think all that is left for me to do. On Thursday, we're going to have another animatic stream. Not an animatic stream, a gaming stream. Maybe East Shade, maybe something else, who knows? But other than that, you'll see me back here on Sunday, either working on the animatic or doing some other art stuff. I'm sorry for the stream crashing halfway at the end there. I don't know if people made their way back or if they're still in crashed void place. But anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I hope you had a good time. I certainly did as well. And all that is left for me to do is send you off into the void that is the internet. And Sam has risen. Good to know. Oh, goodbye, guys. Have a wonderful day.